What's up you guys, and welcome back to the channel. And here we are playing more Train Sim World 2. We are playing the Spirit of Steam DLC, and as you can see we do have a steam locomotive ready to go. It's the 8F and we are at Ditton Junction station. Now in this particular route we're going to be doing a fairly short run, which should take us around about maybe like 15 minutes, maybe a bit shorter than that. But I've been learning how to drive these steam trains over the last few days, and it's certainly there's been a learning curve to it, that's for sure. I feel like this is the kind of Dark Souls of the Train Sim World scenarios, because in terms of the routes here, they're not too bad in terms of the actual routes, you know, from A to B type thing, but the trains themselves, they are quite a challenge to drive, and I think that's a good thing. Now I have found that, you know, when I've been taking these trains for a run, the first few times I did find it a bit of a challenge to keep them going, especially uphill. I found that I was running out of steam, I wasn't managing my energy well, and basically, having to stop the train and struggling to get it going again. And I feel like I've overcome some of those challenges now, and maybe I can, you know, show you what I've been learning. Maybe I can take you through some of the steps that I've taken in order to keep these trains moving. And yeah, it could be an interesting one really, just to see how we get on. I think firstly what we're going to do is to throw this reverser forward. So this is just like a reverser in a diesel train basically, although you do have different elements in terms of power. Now 75% is kind of fully forward, so that's that done. Secondly, the thing about steam trains is you really do need to manage the brakes, and yeah, it's one of those things where you know, you've got your simple sort of brake here, which is a combination brake, which is not only the train brake but also the actual the brake for the trucks as well. So I don't know what sort of weight we're pulling here. Can we even get down? There we go. Let's take a quick look on the scenario and see what sort of weight we're pulling. Well, that's not that, is it? Okay, it doesn't tell us. It usually tells you on the overview there. Is it because we're out of the train now? Hold on. This is no good. Let's take a seat. There we go. So 382.7 tons. So it's not as heavy as the train that I pulled last time, which was, I think it was 500 and something. So yeah, not too bad, I guess. But we are in the LMS Stanier Class 8F. And yeah, we're going to make the most of this one today, guys. So we do have the reverser fully forward. And yeah, the cylinder cocks are already open, so that's good. We will be closing those in just a moment. That just lets off the sort of excess liquid and that type of thing. Brake pressure is 0, which means that the brakes are fully on at the moment. I think in terms of the injectors, we're going to open up the small ejector first, and then we'll close it again. We will release the brakes actually as well. And we want to push that all the way up to 21. And that's going to be when our brakes are fully released. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to twist the large ejector to fully open and get that up to 21, and then we'll close this again like so, and then we'll just pull and let a little bit of the old regulator, which is our basic speed control, take us forward. And as you can see, our wheels are spinning straight away here, so we'll ease back on the regulator, just simply due to the weight of what we're trying to pull here. Just let it roll forward slowly. We'll apply a little bit more power and ease the regulator back. So we're going to do a bit of a jerking effect just to get the train moving. I'll show you what that looks like from inside the cab. So we pull the regulator and then pull it back again. Pull the regulator and pull it back again. And now we're actually moving, so that's good. We're going to apply a little bit more power now. I love the way the smoke comes out the whistle there as you blow it. It's fantastic. Also say hello to Jamie, our fireman today. Hey Jamie, are you going to shovel some coal in here, are you? We get this open. There we go. See if he's going to do his job today or not. We are heading slightly uphill as well at the moment, so I'm enjoying the sort of power that we're using, but if you look in the bottom left there, you can see on the main sort of dial, there's a downward arrow, which means that we're using quite a lot of steam at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll just close this firstly, because they don't need to, those cocks don't need to be open when we're driving. And what we'll do is we'll just ease back on this. And bring that back to about, let's go about 46. We'll open the regulator a bit more. We'll continue to gain speed. One thing that I do want to do, Jamie, if you can just move out the way a sec, we'll just go over here. And we'll just open these dampers a bit, because we are going uphill. We want to get a little bit more, sort of, in terms of steam. We want to get more steam out the fire, basically. Hey, Jamie, mate, can you let us past? Dude. Wow. Bit arrogant there. A little bit rude, if you don't mind me saying. Okay, let's keep it moving anyway. We are heading uphill. We've got a go via location coming up here. And we do have a red signal in 1.2 miles as well. So we'll bear that in mind. I'm not too sure entirely how far this particular route is, having never done it before. We're going to ease back on the regulator though, because we're flat now. We're on flat terrain, and we want to build up our steam pressure because we were losing it there. We were certainly using our steam, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but you want to make use of it when you're going uphill, but we also want to preserve it when we're just going flat like this now. Just move the camera forward a little bit. What station's this one? So, Hillbank. There's nobody here, is there? So, potentially this is a deserted one by the looks of things, so everything's boarded up. Still blow the whistle just in case there's anybody sort of loitering around that needs to hear that we're coming through. Oh, we switched to a red, green signal now going forward. Our next thing is to stop in 3.5 miles. We're going to stop at Spoke Down. Alright, so it's just a straightforward stop here. Looks like the line's fairly straight, curves around a little bit towards the end there. See where we are. So we're currently heading uphill again, although we still have a build-up of steam, so that's good. Tell you what we'll do. Just get Jamie to relax there, because, in all honesty, that doesn't do anything at all. It's just an animation. Jamie, just let us back in here again. We'll just open these dampers a bit more. I want to get more steam in. We'll get those fully open. If you do find that you have too much pressure, you can use this blower, which is also useful. Okay, we'll just open the regulator a bit, because we're slowing down a bit now. We've dropped to 17 miles per hour. And we've just pushed forward that all the way again. But seeing as we've got the steam power on hand, we might as well use it to keep going. We'll open the regulator a bit more. As you can see, we're pulling it uphill here. We're doing a pretty good job of making sure that we're still moving. Less than 3 miles to go to our stop. So yeah, we're making pretty good progress, aren't we? I mean, we've got everything fully open, and as you can see, our steam usage is about bang on now. And I think it really helps that we have those dampers open. It seems to be a definite plus point. See if there's any other views that we can enjoy here. So there we go, that's a nice view, isn't it? Just to give you the overhead. I tell you, this Steam DLC is fantastic. If you're considering picking it up, I'd certainly give it a whirl. I mean, it's, as I say, it's quite challenging, but it's also very rewarding once you actually get to grips with it, and learn how to sort of overcome the difficulties. I think it's really cool. I'd also just want to say, I think it's really beautiful. I mean, if you look at that there, I mean, there's some routes on Train Sim World 2 that just feel a little bit bodged together, but I really think they've done a really good job here. It seems it definitely captures the feel of the era, and yeah. 2.3 miles to go, just enjoying this now. We are using Steam at the moment, but it's there to use, so we might as well make the most of it. I do want to ease back on this. I feel like I'm overworking the train here and using a little bit more steam than what I'd like. Our regulator wasn't even fully open there, so actually gaining speed pretty well here, which is good, although we are using steam, but we've only got 1.9 miles to go, so it's really not a stress at all at the moment. Then again on the whistle. The sound of wonderful silence. I bet the smell from that steam engine's fantastic back here. I will be doing a passenger run as well some point. I just haven't got into that yet. But I certainly will be giving that a whirl at some point. But this train, the 8F, does pull the freight. And yeah, it's great. You know, I can't praise it enough really, this this DLC. Oh, made a mistake there. 1.4 miles to go. We're going to ease off on the regulator. We'll ease this back a bit because we don't really need it too much at the moment. We are going to look to start to use the brakes soon, so we'll be doing that. Braking down from 34 miles per hour isn't too bad with these steam trains, although the brakes aren't. It's not the same as a diesel loco. I mean, it's the same. No, it's not the same with the forward motion either, but just sort of braking, you do have to allow quite a decent amount of time. So I'm going to start putting a little bit of brakes on now, just with less than a mile to go. I want to bring us down to about 25 miles per hour. As you can see, as I've put some brakes on, it has applied up here as well. There we go, 25 miles per hour. And if we want to release the brakes a bit quicker, we can always open this and close it quickly. We'll just do a little bit more of that, I think, because the brakes are still on at the moment. There we go. Still slightly engaged there. Although we don't want to keep that open because that's using I think that uses steam power when you open that. Well, it doesn't seem to be using it anyway. Okay, well, he's forward on our reverser again. We don't want to be going too slow coming in here. Although we are going downhill as well now, so that's something to take into consideration. Lots of tracks flying all over the place here. Nice yard. And we do have a red signal now in 0.7, which is just beyond our stop anyway, so not the end of the world. We'll lean out again here. I don't know whether that's glass or perspex or what it is there that's kind of shielding us. I don't know whether they would have had that back in the day, but it's there at the moment. We'll close the regulator now, make sure that's closed, and then we'll look to apply our brakes in just a moment because we are going to come to a stop here at these yards. And we're just rolling in nicely here, really 16 miles per hour, just above the speed limit. Just put a tiny bit of brake on as well because, yeah, we don't want to be breaking the speed limit too much. We also got this red signal coming up, so we certainly want to be stopping at the right place, that's for sure. To fail this route would be a disaster, obviously. It does happen though, I've certainly done it. And look at these freight arrangements here. Very nice, it just seems to go on and on, doesn't it? And we'll be making a stop in just a moment, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. As I say, I would certainly advise picking this one up. I think it's great. And do let me know in the comment section if you've been playing this one for yourself and what challenges you've faced and how you've overcome them as well. I think there's a lot to be had with this DLC, and I think it really is good. And we'll just make a nice stop there. Derailed. How on earth did that happen? Guys, I don't know how that happened. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a buffer at the end of that track. I've witnessed this a number of times now with trains derailing. Oh man, it's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, guys, I just want to say thanks so much for coming through. If you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And I'll catch you guys again soon.